Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Sara English. I'm Sara, and I'm really happy that you are here with us today.
And I'm Mike. It's great to spend another episode with you. We always imagine you listening somewhere comfortable, maybe at home, while traveling, or during a quiet moment in your day.
Yes, wherever you are, we hope this conversation helps you relax and enjoy learning English naturally. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that is connected to every person in the world.
We are talking about personality. We will explore how we describe ourselves, how we understand other people, and how our personality can influence the way we live our lives.
This is a great topic for English learners because personality words are used very often in daily conversations. When you meet someone new, people often want to know what kind of person you are.
They may ask questions like, "How would you describe yourself?" or "What are you like?" These questions are simple, but they can sometimes be difficult to answer.
Yes, because talking about your personality is not only about knowing vocabulary, it is also about thinking carefully about yourself and choosing the right words.
So while you listen today, we want you to think about one question. What are 3 words that describe your personality?
Don't worry if you cannot answer immediately. You can just listen and think. Maybe the answer will become clearer during our conversation.
Maybe you are someone who is calm and patient. Maybe you are energetic and enjoy meeting new people.
Or maybe you are creative, curious, and always interested in learning new things.
Every person has a different personality, and that is what makes human relationships interesting.
Before we talk about different personality types, let's start with a simple question. Mike, how would you describe your personality?
That is a good question, Sarah. I think I would describe myself as a calm and thoughtful person.
Calm and thoughtful. Those are interesting words. Can you explain what you mean?
Sure. I usually like to think before I speak. When I have a problem, I don't immediately react. I prefer to take some time, understand the situation, and then make a decision.
So you are someone who likes to carefully consider things.
Exactly. I think being thoughtful means you pay attention to your own actions and also think about how your actions affect other people.
That is a very useful quality. Some people act quickly without thinking, while others like to analyze situations more deeply.
Yes, and I don't think one style is always better than the other. Different personalities have different strengths.
That is true. Someone who acts quickly can be great in situations where fast decisions are needed.
And someone who thinks carefully can help avoid mistakes and find better solutions.
I like that idea because sometimes people think personality is only about being good or bad, but it is more complicated than that.
Absolutely. A personality trait can be helpful in one situation and challenging in another situation.
For example, being quiet can be a positive quality. A quiet person may be a good listener and notice details that other people miss.
But if a quiet person is too afraid to share ideas, it can become a challenge.
Exactly. Our personality is not a fixed label. We can understand ourselves and improve certain areas.
I agree. People often change as they experience new things. Someone who was shy as a child may become more confident later in life.
That is an important point for English learners, too. Maybe you think, I am a shy person, so I cannot speak English.
But that is not true. Being shy does not mean you cannot communicate. It only means you may need more time and practice to feel comfortable.
Confidence is something we can build slowly. It is not something that appears suddenly.
Yes, and your personality can actually help you learn. For example, a curious person may enjoy discovering new words and ideas.
A patient person may continue practicing even when progress feels slow.
And a creative person may find fun ways to study English, like writing stories or creating conversations.
Now, Mike, I have another question for you. Were you the same personality when you were younger?
Not exactly. I think some parts of my personality were always there, but other parts developed over time.
Can you give us an example?
When I was younger, I was much more nervous when speaking in front of groups. I worried too much about making mistakes.
Many people can understand that feeling. Speaking in front of others can be uncomfortable.
Yes, especially when you think everyone is watching you. But later, I learned that people are usually not judging you as much as you imagine.
That is very true. Sometimes our own thoughts create bigger problems than the real situation.
Exactly. I started practicing more, and slowly, I became more comfortable expressing my ideas.
So, your personality did not completely change. Instead, you developed new skills.
Yes, I became a more confident version of myself. I still feel nervous sometimes, but I know how to handle it better.
I think many listeners can relate to that. Personality is not only who we are today, it is also the person we are becoming.
I like that. We are always learning about ourselves.
Now, let me share my answer. I would describe my personality as friendly, organized, and curious.
Friendly, organized, and curious. Those words fit someone who enjoys communication and learning.
I think I have always liked connecting with people. I enjoy listening to their stories and understanding different points of view.
That is a wonderful quality because good communication starts with being interested in other people.
Yes, but I also think being organized is an important part of my personality. I like making plans and preparing things before I start.
Do you think being organized always makes life easier?
Most of the time, yes, but sometimes I need to remember that everything does not need to be perfect.
That is a very important lesson. Organized people sometimes put too much pressure on themselves.
Exactly. I can spend too much time trying to make every small detail perfect.
I think many careful people understand that feeling. Sometimes you just need to start and improve later.
Yes, learning that has helped me become more flexible.
Flexible is another useful personality word. It means you can adapt when things change.
Right. A flexible person does not panic when plans are different. They try to find another way.
I think flexibility is becoming more important because life changes so quickly.
It really is. We meet new people, face unexpected situations, and learn new skills throughout our lives.
And our personality affects how we respond to those moments. Some people enjoy change, while others need more time to adjust.
Neither one is wrong. The important thing is understanding yourself and finding ways to grow.
That is a great way to think about personality. It's not about putting yourself into one simple category. It's about discovering your strengths, understanding your challenges, and becoming more aware of who you are.
Now that we have talked about some basic personality traits, let's explore more words and ideas that can help us describe ourselves and other people.
Yes, because personality is a big topic. There are many different qualities, and each person has a unique combination of them.
One common personality difference is between people who are more introverted and people who are more extroverted.
These two words are very common, but many people misunderstand them.
Yes, some people think introverted means shy and extroverted means confident, but that is not always true.
Exactly. An introverted person usually feels comfortable spending time alone or in small groups. They often enjoy quiet activities and need time to recharge after social situations.
While an extroverted person often gets energy from being around other people. They may enjoy conversations, group activities, and meeting new friends.
But remember, these are not strict categories. Many people are somewhere in the middle.
Yes, some people love social events, but also need quiet time afterward.
And some people enjoy being alone but can still communicate confidently with others.
I think this is important because people sometimes judge themselves too quickly.
They might say, I am not a social person, so something is wrong with me.
But that is not true. different personalities create different ways of enjoying life.
Exactly. Imagine a workplace with only one type of personality. It would probably not work very well.
That is true. A team needs different kinds of people.
Some people are good at sharing ideas, some are good at listening, some are good at organizing, and some are good at solving problems.
The combination of different personalities can create something stronger.
Now, let's talk about another personality quality, being optimistic.
Optimistic means having a positive way of looking at situations.
An optimistic person does not believe everything will always be perfect, but they try to see possibilities and solutions.
For example, imagine someone fails an important exam.
A negative thought might be, I failed, so I will never improve.
But an optimistic person may think, I failed this time, but I can learn from my mistakes and try again.
That kind of thinking can make a big difference.
However, optimism does not mean ignoring problems.
Right. A positive person still understands difficulties. They simply believe difficulties can be managed.
I think optimism is a personality quality that can become stronger with practice.
I agree. The way we speak to ourselves can influence our mindset.
If we always tell ourselves negative things, we start believing them.
But if we speak to ourselves with patience and kindness, we can become more confident.
Another interesting personality word is generous.
Yes, a generous person likes to give, share, and help others.
Generosity is not only about money or gifts, it can also be about time, attention, and support.
For example, someone who listens carefully when a friend has a problem is showing generosity.
That is a great example. Sometimes people think small actions are not important, but they can have a big effect.
A simple message, a kind word, or helping someone with a difficult task can show a generous personality.
Now, let's talk about honesty, because this is another quality people value highly.
Honesty means telling the truth and being sincere.
An honest person does not try to create a false image of themselves. They are comfortable showing who they really are.
But honesty also needs kindness.
Exactly. Being honest does not mean saying every thought without considering other people's feelings. That is a very important difference. A person can be truthful and respectful at the same time.
Good communication needs both honesty and empathy.
Empathy is another beautiful personality word.
Yes, empathy means understanding and sharing another person's feelings.
An empathetic person tries to imagine what another person is experiencing.
For example, if a friend is having a difficult day, an empathetic person does not immediately give advice.
Instead, they may first listen and say, I understand this is hard for you.
That simple response can make someone feel supported.
I think empathy is especially important today because people often communicate quickly through messages and social media.
Yes, sometimes we forget that there is a real person behind every message.
Understanding other people's personalities can also improve our relationships.
How do you mean?
For example, if your friend is a quiet person, you may understand that they need time before sharing their feelings.
Instead of thinking, they do not care, you can think, maybe they express themselves differently.
Exactly. Understanding personality helps us avoid unnecessary misunderstandings.
This is also useful at work. People have different communication styles.
Some people like direct conversations, while others prefer more time to think before answering.
Some people enjoy leading projects, while others prefer supporting from behind the scenes.
Every style can have value. Now, Sarah, I want to ask you something. What personality trait do you admire most in other people? That is a difficult question because there are many qualities I respect.
Take your time.
I think one quality I really admire is kindness.
Why kindness?
Because kindness can change the feeling of a whole situation. A kind person can make others feel comfortable and respected.
I agree. Kindness seems simple, but it requires awareness and effort.
Yes, sometimes people are busy with their own problems, so noticing another person's feelings is a special quality.
Do you think kindness is something people are born with or something they learn?
I think both are possible. Some people naturally have a caring personality, but everyone can practice kindness.
That is a hopeful idea. It means personality is not completely fixed.
Exactly. We may have natural tendencies, but we can develop new habits and qualities.
For example, someone who is not naturally patient can practice becoming more patient.
Someone who is usually quiet can practice sharing their opinions more.
And someone who worries a lot can practice becoming calmer and more confident.
Growth does not mean changing into a completely different person.
It means becoming a better version of yourself while keeping your unique qualities.
I really like that idea because many people compare themselves with others.
Yes, they look at someone confident, successful, or social and think, I should become exactly like that person.
But the goal is not to copy another person's personality.
The goal is to understand your own personality and develop your own strengths.
A quiet person does not need to become the loudest person in the room.
A serious person does not need to become the funniest person.
A creative person does not need to become highly organized in every area of life.
We all have different natural styles, and those differences make conversations and relationships more interesting.
Now, let's talk about another important part of personality. It is not only about how we describe ourselves, but also about how we understand the way we behave in different situations.
Yes, because sometimes we act differently depending on where we are, who we are with, and what is happening around us.
For example, someone may be very confident with close friends, but feel nervous when speaking in front of a large group.
That does not mean the person is fake. It simply means different situations can bring out different parts of our personality.
Exactly. Human personality is complex. We are not just one word or one simple description.
A person can be both serious and funny, both quiet and friendly, both careful and adventurous.
I think many learners need to remember this when they describe themselves in English.
Yes, sometimes people think they need to choose only one personality word, but real people are much more interesting than that.
You can say, I am usually calm, but I can be very energetic with my friends.
Or, I'm a little shy when I meet new people, but I become more open when I feel comfortable.
These kinds of sentences sound more natural because they show different sides of your personality.
They also help other people understand you better.
Now, let's talk about a personality quality that many people want to develop: courage.
Courage is a very powerful word. It means having the ability to do something difficult even when you feel afraid.
Many people think courageous people are never scared.
But that is not true. Courage does not mean having no fear. It means moving forward, even with fear.
For example, an English learner who speaks in front of others for the first time is showing courage.
They may feel nervous about mistakes, but they choose to try.
That small action can slowly build confidence.
The same idea applies to many areas of life. Starting a new job, meeting new people, or trying something unfamiliar can all require courage.
I think courage is connected to another personality quality: curiosity.
Yes, curious people enjoy discovering new things. They ask questions and want to understand the world.
A curious person may say, I don't know this yet, but I want to learn.
That attitude is very helpful because learning always begins with curiosity.
It is especially useful for language learning. If you are curious, you naturally want to explore new words, cultures, and ideas.
You start seeing English not only as a subject, but as a way to connect with the world.
That is a beautiful way to think about it.
Now, I want to ask you something, Sarah. Is there a personality trait that you are trying to improve?
Yes, definitely. I think everyone has something they want to develop.
What about you?
I would say patience. I try to become more patient, especially when things do not happen as quickly as I want.
That is very relatable. Many people struggle with patience because modern life is so fast.
Exactly. We are used to quick answers, quick messages, and quick results.
But many valuable things take time.
Learning a language, building relationships, improving skills, and reaching personal goals all require patience.
So, how do you practice patience?
I try to focus more on progress instead of perfection.
That is a great approach.
For example, when I learn something new, I remind myself that improvement happens step by step.
You do not need to become perfect in one day.
Exactly. Small progress is still progress.
I think that idea connects with personality too. We can develop ourselves little by little.
Yes, becoming more patient doesn't happen overnight, but small choices every day can create change.
Now let's review some useful personality words from today's conversation.
The first word is thoughtful. A thoughtful person thinks carefully and considers other people's feelings.
For example, my friend is very thoughtful because she always remembers important details.
The next word is confident. A confident person believes in their abilities and feels comfortable expressing themselves.
Another word is flexible. A flexible person can adapt when situations change.
We also talked about optimistic. An optimistic person tries to see positive possibilities even during difficult times.
Generous means someone who likes to give and help others.
Honest describes someone who tells the truth and acts sincerely.
Empathic means someone who can understand another person's feelings.
Curious describes someone who wants to learn and discover new things.
Courageous means someone who can face challenges even when they feel afraid.
And patient describes someone who can wait calmly and continue without giving up.
These words are useful because they help you have deeper conversations in English.
Instead of only saying, "I am nice," you can explain more clearly.
You can say, I think I am patient because I like helping people learn, or I am curious because I enjoy discovering new ideas.
When you describe yourself, try to give examples. Examples make your English more natural.
They also help people understand the real person behind the words.
Before we finish today's episode, we want to give you a small speaking practice.
Think about this question. How would you describe your personality in 3 words?
Then create a few sentences using those words.
For example, you can say, I am a curious and patient person. I enjoy learning new things and I do not give up easily.
Or, I am friendly and creative. I like meeting people and finding new ways to solve problems.
You can write your answer in the comments if you want to practice.
You can write, I'm blank from blank, and I would describe myself as...
You will always enjoy reading your answers and learning more about the people who listen to Talk Sara English.
Remember, your personality is something special. You do not need to become someone else to be valuable.
Your strengths, your experiences, and even your challenges are all part of who you are.
Keep learning about yourself. Keep improving little by little, and keep using English to express your thoughts.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We hope this conversation helped you learn new English words and understand yourself a little better.
We will see you in the next episode of Talk Sara English. Keep practicing, keep growing, and remember that your voice matters.
Take care, keep learning, and we'll talk to you again soon.